Welcome to the sensory special edition of the special episode of the Coffee Conversation show with Candice Midde, a fragrance expert, where today we will go beyond the bottles. So, the theme or the special episode title that we have today is Scent&Soul, the invisible power of fragrance in beauty. So, Candice, since we start this special episode, we want to know exactly two things. Why do people actually want to smell good? And secondly, why is it important to smell good? So, can you please brief us in these two questions what I've asked you?
Sure. So, why do people want to smell good? There's a lot of body odor and all that happens, and people want to smell good to make an impression, to be confident, and to also receive a compliment. And why it is important, I also said, yeah, because today people are not just in their homes, they're going outside, social circle, boardrooms, meeting, conferences, traveling. So obviously, there's always one fragrance for every occasion. So that's how
Okay.
it is.
So we talk about emotions. Like when you were having a conversation with Mr. Amir, you spoke about having this nostalgic feeling as like we grew up in childhood and everything. So
Yeah.
many of our viewers would want to understand one part. So like personally for us, like since we're in the monsoon season, so there are many brands who have come up with this feeling of pehli barish wala rain
Yes.
and fragrances and everything. So how does one choose something on a nostalgic basic of their perfume? So do we have any particular notes or scents that we can go through back? Like suppose, for example, I am a big fan of like bubblegum.
Yeah.
So there are certain kind of notes which have that kind of stuff that happens in the industry. Can you please brief us in on that?
Yeah, so nostalgic sense could be, like I said, what your grandmother or mother used when you were childhood. And this is a very important thing that I realized, that the sense of smell and touch comes when an infant is born, before they even open their eyes to see or they develop the other senses. I think mother's touch and smell is so important that that's ingrained. But it's also different exposures and cultures that you're brought in as a child also, like aromas in the kitchen that you're
All
used
right.
to, your grandmother's backyard, if there are some fruits or vegetables growing, your experience of beach or monsoon showers. Now there are a couple of smells you're exposed to, but not necessary that you will like everything. Like you said, bubble gum.
Yeah.
Maybe you like the taste, but if it comes as a fragrance, it may or may not be liked,
All right.
because sometimes it can get too cloying, fruity. You may not want to smell like that on your body. You will like the taste of that. So I think we need to be very cautious, as in what kind of sense, where are you wearing it? Is it on skin, on surface? Where do you use it? Is it something that you like just because you had it, like, smell of biryani? Even I love it, but obviously I would not want to smell like a biryani. Simple like that.
All right. So front of you we have like 4 tester perfumes. Okay. So I would like want you to like pick up one and you. What would you advise us if you were a morning person? What would we want to use, or what would our advisor or like our viewers want to use?
Yeah. So I've sprayed this. So this is the way that you hold your
Okay.
perfume spray, and just few centimeters away, and let it just spread. And then you keep smelling it. Now, what you smell first is the first impression.
Okay.
Just like you meet someone for the first time,
Alright.
the first impression. So you get a lot of fresh notes,
Okay.
because you're spraying, there's a chemistry of alcohol, water, etc. So that kind of fragrance are more like very
Okay.
volatile, which evaporate easily.
All right.
So you have something very citrus, you have something very fruity that comes faster when you smell anything.
Okay.
The other second layer is the heart of the perfume, which is dominant and throughout.
Okay.
Like your florals, you have green or scents, spices, those kind of things. And then that is after a few minutes, when you don't realize that you keep smelling your hand, but then it kind of grows on your skin.
Okay.
There are those dry notes or base notes that are musks, woods,
Okay.
Those kind of vanilla, some creamy notes that are there. So obviously the one that I've sprayed right now, I've done it in blind. It's basically like, you've heard this word called unisex fragrance,
Yeah.
meaning that
For
it's not
everybody.
tending towards masculine, macho fragrances, not towards very floral, fruity, feminine. But today's world, there are women who like masculine, and it's the other way around. You see florals and fruities come in masculine. So I think the trend is changing, where people are not putting the barriers.
Okay.
Okay, and that's why these kind of fragrances are trending. The best thing is, this fragrance has a lot of spice, lavender, very aromatic.
Okay.
Aromatics is basically a combination of some spices which are used in spas, which are a part of some florals and some therapeutic balmy notes that are there, which people love it.
Okay.
So what happens, it adds to freshness as well, but it also goes with calming, soothing.
All right.
And I think people love these combinations today because you can use them for a very zesty, spotty profile. So you increase more of the citrus and aqua notes. If you want more calming, you go to the woods and musks.
Okay.
You want it more bolder, you have vanillas and fruities coming out. So there's a construct of a fragrance, there's a structure, and you can alter it depending on the intensity, likability, the fit, and the type of occasion or how you want to use it or spray it, you know. There's a lot of chemistry here.
Most of our viewers, like always, like whenever we see Instagram influencers and everyone like whenever you have the skin products, we have a patch test.
Yes.
So like as you just said, you spray the perfume. So what are the best like body parts, so you know, where we can like spray it for getting the fragrance hitting us? Which are the best parts on a hand, if I use suppose?
So it is always here at the pulse or the palm and the hand is basically the best thing to smell, because other areas you will not be able to smell. Somebody else could. If you're spraying it, you know, behind your ears or, you know, there are many ways people smell, because like directly on body, or even sometimes people use it on clothes. But that's not the right way, because on clothes it leaves out some stains or residues, which are patches that don't look good. So it's good like to smell on a body, but like I said, patch test, you use it on a small area to see if there's no irritation. And it suits your skin, and then you can go ahead with spraying it under the armpits or else.
But sometimes I've seen, like, when, as you just mentioned, some of them have that layering kind of a note.
Yes.
So like when I sprayed on the pulse point on my wrist, something like over here. So you have to wait for a moment, and I've seen many people like shaking their hand.
No, that's not the wrong. That's not the right way, I would say, because you have to spray something. It's about patience. I'm also impatient, I know, but it's about spraying the fragrance, waiting for the moment, experiencing. You know, as you're doing something. If you're able to smell it from a distance, you're able to see how it evolves on skin. And it's also basically on different skin types, it behaves a bit differently also, because skin has that sebum which kind of absorbs certain notes, which kind of leaves out certain notes. So it depends on the time you spray, the temperature. Like we are in a conference room, which is AC environment. If it's a humidity, it behaves differently. So, you know, those kind of things.
So now just going back to the next perfume, what we have over here. I don't know, like, I mean, this is something which you may use, I'm not sure. So I just want to see if you can like recognize this part. Okay, so do you think this is well versed for the Indian climate, or are we like going to create a scent war over here?
So I'll tell you what, it's personal preference. Like I said, there are a lot of trends that are happening. So trend is something people say, oh, what a trend, let me try it. But not necessarily people will stick to it. Either you like it or not, like I said, it's subjective. But people like, now this fragrance, it's very heavy. Like I mentioned, oud. So it has prunes, fig, a lot of heaviness, florals, very intense, very deep woods, musks, you know, and creamy vanillic notes. Like you usually, when you smell incense sticks, when you smell agarbattis, temples, so it has a very heavy floral. It's a nice scent though, but again, it's subjective. So in a climate like Mumbai, it's not something you would wear it in humid environments when you're traveling outside. But it's a very good fragrance if you're going for an evening party or for a wedding or an occasion like that, you know, where people are heavily dressed. It also goes with the type of dressing, the colors you use, the occasion you're going, the jewelry. So it goes with that heavy royalty, you know, those kind of things where people are into gold, into those deep colors for the evening. This fragrance is really apt. But not when you're going to like office, you're traveling, you're going for a outing or a brunch. It's too heavy as a fragrance.
Too heavy of a fragrance. All right, so we go to the third one. I think this is more about, this is one more thing what we have just been gifted by somebody. So definitely want to check out this one. So I just want to spray this also. So you tell me how this perfume would be for a evening dinner. Would it be good? Would it be not?
Okay, let it kind of subside a bit.
So viewers, you have to see that whenever you're spraying the perfume on your wrist, it takes a bit of time.
It does.
So you'll have to be little bit patient on that fact. The notes have to settle.
This is a very spotty aqua gym-based fragrance. When you go for workouts, when you go for swimming, when you go for really high-tech physical workouts, this is a very good perfume. A lot of masculine perfumes do well. Like men really like something fresh aqua because again of the climate. you want to not smell something heavy, sticky, bold, like Orientals or something like that. So they go for these fragrances when you're mostly like on a outing, like outdoors, I would say specifically, you're going out for lunches or dinners during the daytime. It's a very good fragrance, it's a very outdoor fragrance, I would say.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we'll go to the last one. Okay. So this has been actually gifted by my girlfriend.
Okay.
So I really want
now I have to be careful.
Yeah.
What do I say about
No, we don't need to be biased. Obviously, you can just thread in your advice, whatever it is. Okay. So this has been given to me on my anniversary day. So I want to know how this would be for me personally.
So it's also depend, Mansoor, on how you are as a person.
Yeah.
It has to go with your personality. So could you tell me something about yourself?
See, I'm more of a very fun-loving guy, no doubt, but at the same time have a very mysterious kind of vibe. So I think she maybe got that into it, or no, I'm not sure, but I hope you're the best one to judge.
Yeah, there's a mystery because I'm also trying to see what's there in the fragrance actually. So yeah, it's a good fragrance, but it needs time to open up. Maybe you're a person who someone meets you the first time. Okay, they know you're fun-loving, but if they want to know you more, they need to spend more time, and you take a lot of time to open up with people you are close to or comfortable with. So I think perfumes also like that. They need time to open up. So I think it's a good fragrance. It has some notes, but they're very subtle.
Okay.
They are very, I would say, tight, very complex, I would say. So they need to open up in certain environments. So this fragrance, you can use layers.
Okay.
Because right now it's just a little more sweet, a little creamy, woody, but it doesn't have a freshness to it.
Okay.
So you are lively and bubbly. You can put some citrus or aqua fresh layers to it. That will add and enhance the personality. So that's the way I see it.
So like some of the viewers, when we have like seen Instagram and other fragrances stuff come up, many of them talk about layers, okay, like as you mentioned. So I've seen many people like putting one perfume and then after 15 minutes a second perfume and then third perfume. What is the whole funda of it and how does it work?
It's just basically, because in the market you have so many perfumes, you don't want to smell like just another person who's using the same brand. So you want to smell different, you want to experiment. It's just a way, like a trend, I would say, you experiment. But it's not that always you would do it, right? Sometimes you're in a rush, you would either have specific perfumes for specific occasions or you spray at different times. But there are certain perfumes where you can use like just a plain rose, a plain sandalwood. You would not spray that as is, then you would try and layer it. Once you put rose sandalwood for different occasions, next time you use citrus and rose for a very outdoor. So you can layer it. I mean, it depends from person to person. If they really like doing layering of fragrance, then they can take those smaller portions of fragrance kits and keep layering as much as they want. So it depends on the quantity. Like a lot of people do this experimentation, how much of citrus they want or how much of florals or woods they want in a perfume.
All right. So the last question before we end the special episode. So every fragrance has a story, as like everyone knows.
Yeah.
So if I want to choose my story, say if it's like a sad story or a happy story or like a very fulfilling story, what would be a few ingredients or notes that I should choose? So let's say if I want to go for a happy story, what is the ingredients I should go for?
So happy always relates to moods and emotions like sunshine, energy, outdoor, burst of laughter. You want everything positive and happy around. So things that obviously exude a lot of positive vibes are obviously citrus, the first thing I would say, because of the freshness. When you cut and you have lime juice, it refreshes your soul. You come tired after, and then people have Tang or Glucon-D and all, and they feel refreshed. So basically anything that's refreshing, energizing. So fruits, citrus are refreshing and energizing. They all talk about positivity and happy energy around. And then you have nice pink, lighter florals. So you're happy, but you're more glad. You're not very extrovert, have a happy outburst, but you're just glad or happy or contented from within. You go for milder florals. And then you have subtle, so like a fragrance construct, you need to have base. So your base needs to have something like very happy, creamy vanilla, like the malt, the chocolate, because ice creams, butterscotch, they make children happy. So you have those layers of notes. And you have nice woods or musk, which help to structure, hold those notes of fragrances. So you'll have more of the top and the middle, which is there, but a slight base notes to hold those. So that I would describe more as a happy story.
Happy story. And someone who's like wants to go like a mysterious, but showing like the sad vibe, but then suddenly opening up. What kind of perfume notes should he go for?
So that would be mysterious. We always talk about woods. Okay, different kinds of woods that are there, because there were fairy tales which talked about mystery, and used to talk about people used to live in the woods, in the jungles. It's more like a maze, and it's about being inquisitive, finding out something, treasure hunt, all those words that come out. So it's obviously woods, but it will also be some types of very deep, intense florals. Because of the mystery, or unraveling the mystery. It won't have, again, a lot of citrus and fruity, but it'll have something like a slight little green, slight musk, because it's all about its opening up. So these notes take a little more time to open up than the citrus and fruits and all. So you take little more on the heavier side, which takes time to open up and make it complex. So like when it's a happy fragrance, you will start perceiving one of one, and you'll be able to recognize, oh, this is fun, this fruity. But with complex and mysterious, it comes in different ways. So you will have a mix of these notes coming in. You may or may not identify them.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. As we wrap up this fragrance journey, one thing is crystal clear. Scent isn't just a luxury, it's a language. And it's how we remember love, express confidence, or even anchor ourselves on these days when we feel chaotic. So thank you again, Candice, for having this special episode with us. And do not forget to subscribe to the Coffee Conversation Show. Before we go, Candice, this is your last chance to tell something. What would be that one thing that you would want to tell?
To the viewers, yes, whenever you get a chance to explore this mysterious world of scents and aromas and taste, just go for it and experience, because it has a lot to offer, not just in terms of career, but even your personal life, because it's related to emotions, plays a very important role. And you'll be surprised at every moment how this plays different facets in your life, and it brings a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings with it, and you'll be thrilled to know that. Yeah.
All right, guys. See you in the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.
Book.
Oh, thank you.
And has been autograph also.
Oh.
So friends, it was a lovely conversation having with Candice over a Saturday afternoon, understanding her calling, her various interests. As she said, it's one life. You need to explore, do things of your interest. And so all those professionals out there, as she did into marketing, and then now she's into fragrance. So follow your calling. So I would invite all those Gen Z and other professionals out there, and all the startups who want to venture into fragrance, scents, and perfumery. Watch the episode. You get a lot of insights, and there will be many coffee speakers who have followed their calling. Like there have been engineers, biotechnologists who have ventured and become patent office into patents, and have joined big law firms. So there are, like the psychologist also there. She has ventured into legal branding, law firm management. So there are other career options also available from the standard routine ones, where you get to learn, explore, and take your career to great heights and be creative. So many things. If you watch the episode, there are so many creative things also she is doing, and she is a poet also, and a certified wine taster. So like that, there are 500 plus coffee speakers who have shared their personal journeys, professional journeys, insights, stories. Subscribe, get inspired. And if you want to be featured like Candice, visit our website or LinkedIn company page, the Emerging India Forum, or connect with one of coffee speakers who put in a word, and to invite you to have coffee conversation, either on Zoom, where we have gone international, or wherever you're in India, or you're feeling Mumbai. So there are limited options. They're only for special coffee speakers who get the opportunity for in-persons, where we have gone to corporate offices and done coffee conversation. And for all the viewers out there, this is 5 years which are completed, and in July, we'll be completing crossing 600 speakers who have been featured. This is a social initiative, and we are continuing this journey to cover all speakers out there who have got the stories and have gone from A to Z. Come over and share your story and get inspired others out there. So we will with other coffee speakers on Monday, continue the conversation or a cup of coffee. Thank you.
Thank you.